It's the world's most dangerous podcast.
Dope Dealers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is.
Dope Dealers Podcast.
It's your man Jamal Doman.
Toby Hixx.
It's going down. What's up, Toby? Episode 40.
Yeah, man. E40 just called me and said good luck on episode 40.
There we go, man. Shout out,
all right.
Shout out to E Feezy, man. And if you believe that, I got some land to sell you in South Dakota.
That's funny.
So we here, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening, man. Shout out to the armed forces.
Yeah,
you know we
Army,
do this for you.
Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, National Guard, Fire Department, Sheriff, Police.
Absolutely, man.
Putting out them wildfires in California.
Yeah, man. Well, first thing, prayers to all the families affected by the wildfires out there in Calabasas, Thousand Oaks, man. And, we're praying for you guys and definitely prayers to all the firefighters. Like Toby just said, the firefighters, all the emergency response units who had to deal with that stuff, man. You guys are heroes, man. And the people who lost their lives, man, we praying for the families. That's how we do it, man. So
yeah, and rest in peace, Kim Porter.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Our condolences to P. Diddy, his family, his kids,
Quincy,
everybody.
Yeah. Q, that's the homie. We did a movie together, Brotherly Loves. That was his mother. P. Diddy, the whole, definitely, man. We here, Toby Hixx. How you doing, man? First thing, the dope independent music, because, we always open the show with dope independent music. That was the homie, Don Perignon. That's the homie, Don Perignon.
Where's
LA.
he out of?
He from South Central.
Oh, okay.
He was selling his mixtapes at the Ralph's in the hood somewhere. He was selling his mixtape. I bought his mixtape. It's called Unorthodox, and I listened to his mixtape. It was dope. And the brother took Venmo. I paid him on the Cash App Venmo. That's how.
Damn.
Yeah, he wasn't playing around, man.
Game up.
But I seen the brother out there hustling, and then I listened to his, because a lot of times you buy mixtapes, then you listen to him, it'd be like but he was dope. And I hit him up. I found him on Instagram. I said, yo, man, I got a podcast. I'm gonna play your music. So that's shout out to Don
shout out
Perignon,
to you for buying a motherfucking mixtape.
Yeah, and you can check him out on Instagram on It's Mr. Don Perignon. That's Don, D-O-N.
I had turned down the last 100 niggas that tried to sell me a mixtape. Shout out to you.
Listen, I support. No, he was out there hustling, man. You see the young boys out there trying to be positive and hustling, and he got talent, man. So. And you know how we do dope independent music? If you got any music, we will play it. We will have an open and close the show up. So just send us music, man, at Dope Dealer Podcast on the Instagram page. Dope Dealer Podcast. We got a special show, Toby.
Man,
anything going on?
Yeah, shout out to everybody in Buffalo this past weekend at the Helium Comedy Club. Shout out to the manager, Sean Eckert, for the hospitality. Truly enjoyed myself. Had a great time with the homie Felipe and Rodrigo Torres. It was cold as fucking Buffalo. Glad to be back in LA, but it was a good time. Buffalo, Helium.
I never been to Buffalo, but my homegirl, Ebony, she's from Buffalo. She always tells me about it, man.
You don't have to rush.
I want to go there and do the Helium Club. Helium Club, bring the Dope Dealer Podcast comedy show.
I had the best meatball sandwich I ever had in my life at Sidelines in Buffalo.
That sounds like something you would get in Buffalo.
I went there 2 days in a row. That shit was so good. I hadn't had a meatball sandwich in years. Rodrigo said, man, they got a meatball sandwich. I'm like, how did you even know to order a meatball sandwich? Like, who thinks let me go get a meatball sandwich? But that motherfucker was good, man. I got it Sidelines in Buffalo on Delaware Boulevard.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Shout out to Buffalo, man. We got a special show, man, going on.
Man, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, we got my homie, man. One of my good friends is Hip Hop Royalty is in the house, man.
Hey, this is gonna be great.
This is gonna be because I'm a hip hop kid from and I always like to hear the stories of the birth of it, the early days of it before it got to before it turned into Tekashi. Yeah, whatever it is today, I don't even know what I'm from. That that era, and my man is in the house, man, and one of the pioneers, New York. He was there for the early days,
the launching of
the launching of it. He's seen it, and I just want to get his opinion about where it came from and where it's at now, and he's one of the first guys to bring that the mixed fashion into hip hop. And you know what, man. Let's kill all that. Let's just bring my brother in right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a true member of the True School and also the hip-hop culture globally, man. 1,000% played a huge part in crossing brands and music videos and TV and films and made them a household name. I mean, this brother came up with Whodini, Big Daddy Kane, Nice and Smooth, Dougie Fresh. He is a hip-hop icon representing New York. Ladies and gentlemen, Dope Dealer Podcast presents Cliff Love.
Give it up.
Cliff Love.
What's up? What's up?
You get the bell, Cliff.
What's up, man?
What's up, homie?
Man,
welcome to the Dope Dealer Podcast,
glad
my brother.
To have you, bro.
Man, this is dope. I love the energy in here, and I just want to say, man, I've never in my life heard anybody big up a meatball.
I know.
Sandwich.
I tasted it myself. I mean, they were so.
The cheese. Oh man,
and I'm a vegan too, so it made me go, damn, I want me a vegan meatball.
That's why. So how long you been vegan?
15 years.
Wow, because you know we got to meet you with my brother Bilal. Bilal's vegan now.
Bilal, I'm so happy Bilal.
And Felipe's vegan. He was looking.
Oh, Felipe's vegan.
Yeah, he's been vegan for a few years. He was looking at us eat that meatball sandwich. He wanted something so bad.
I didn't know, but you can have vegan. You can do a vegan meatball.
Yeah, absolutely. They have the whole vegan meatballs and
You was vegan before it became fancy.
15 years.
Original.
Yeah, man. Life changing.
Yeah.
Listen, I got nothing but respect for the vegans out there, but listen, I love my turkey, I love my fish, I love my chicken. I once dated a girl who was vegan. Mm-hmm. So, of course, when we went out to eat, we had to go to vegan spots. And I enjoyed it. It was some great spots. Yes. But I did think that she was kind of leaning, hey, listen, we going to be together. You're going to have to turn vegan. I said, well, listen, I guess we ain't going to be together that long.
Yeah. She tried
I don't do beef, but I do fish. I do fish. I do some tacos. I mean, I do fish and turkey and all that stuff, man.
What's interesting, we're talking about that. This is a sidebar. I was just looking at something on ABC News this morning, like 7 o'clock. And they have one factory that manufactures all this beef. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy. They're gonna lose millions of dollars for the Thanksgiving holiday because they found so much E. coli.
Yeah.
In the
Dang. I know they just had it. Something on turkey. They just had like a recall or something.
So it's important that we're eating cancer, and we wonder why our elders are dying around us and why we're dying. We're basically eating cancer.
Wow.
Damn.
That's real.
Wow.
Man. It's real. It's not about vanity and I want to lose weight to look good in clothes and all that. It's more of a spiritual connection. But once you tap into it and you get the ball rolling, it's like anything in life. As you mature, you don't do certain things, Mm-hmm. You don't do the same things you did in the past. So, but that's that.
No, yeah, we might have a whole vegan episode too, man. Bring you and Bilal in here, man. But I want to get into the essence of Cliff Love. So, Cliff, let me ask you first question. If somebody was to ask you, who is Cliff Love? What would be your answer?
A person that is that still is inquisitive about cultures, but more so subcultures. I think the subculture is what turns into the culture. It's like, the young brother over here was watching the Clippers. Right. So you have the Lakers were always the big brother.
Yes.
And then the Clippers came and they started rocking. Mm-hmm. But then the baby brother came out of nowhere and that was Golden State.
Wow. Yeah, I ain't think of that. Never thought of that. Yeah.
So it's like the subculture of, understanding and being a young kid running around Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. In the late 70s, early 80s, 82, 83.
So that's where you're from? You're from Brooklyn?
I'm from Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, Lafayette and Clawson. Okay. And just having the love and respect for the graffiti artists, the break dancers, of course the DJ, everybody was on the same. I look at it like the MC is like the spoiled child. That's the one out of the elements that just surpassed everyone, and that's the focal point. And
those out there listening, the young folks, that's the 5 elements of hip hop. The young folks may not know: MC, DJing, breaking, graffiti, and some people say the 5th element, beatboxing.
Absolutely. So I think that the subculture is what keeps this thing moving, and we see the world of dance has risen to a level of greatness.
Yeah, global proportions. Yeah.
Global proportions. So being a part of it, looking at the homies, you know, fixing their needles and making their scratch pads out of their T-shirts and, you know, down to the simple things, taking the tops off the aerosol cans in the supermarkets. And they had like a little ball inside the top of the spray paint cans, and you had to cut that with a razor blade to make, so when you sprayed your, you know, when you got up on the wall, it came out fat. So you had a fat top. So you had to make them a fat top. Damn. So now you go to the store, you go to a paint shop, or you go wherever, and you buy the tops fat.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about the subculture is really the subculture.
They selling what y'all did.
Exactly. Like, you know, we had to make our laces fat. Y'all know that. You took the iron and you took the tip of the iron and you put it in between the shoestring, and you made your shoestrings fat. That's how you made fat laces. Now you can buy them.
You can buy them,
Right. So it's the subculture, and it's still trips me out looking at YouTube. I love you. I could watch YouTube for hours. And I look at this, I look at that, and I'm always inspired. I'm always finding something that's just hella impressive, and you know, a lot of kids are respecting the culture. They're not culture vultures.
So okay, so you Brooklyn early days. What was that? What was that early scene like? What was that hip hop scene?
Who was the first hip hop artist that you recall meeting or coming in contact with?
The cats in my neighborhood, they brought through like a Spoonie G or somebody like that. Count something. I forgot his name. But just the early days, like the older heads in my neighborhood, Mark Austin and M14, Maurice Walker, Mike Payne, the Payne brothers, Killer Payne and them, they would come around the neighborhood Sundays after they would go to Harlemwell, and they would make us sit down on the bench. Sit down. And they bring out their boxes, and they would play the battle that they went to at Harlemwell, or the fever of Cold Crush, or Master Don and the Deaf Committee. And we would sit there and listen to these tapes and these battles, because back then they would sell them, or they would throw them in the audience from last week's show. And you had it live. So that's how the tapes went all city, because you got to hear about these different artists, these different groups. And this is way before Sugar Hill Gang came out with their record, Rapper's Delight.
Because is that how the Kool Moe D, who the Kool Moe D,
Busy B.
Busy B, is that how? Because it wasn't never a video recording, but it was just an audio recording of it. Is that kind of how it was passed around New York?
Exactly.
By the tape.
Yeah, the streets were talking, and then that came about, and you know, these guys were superheroes. Yeah. They're still superheroes to me. When even though me and Doug been rocking since 9th grade, and we've done a lot together, when we're together, one night, real quick, we went to, Prince had a party at his house. This is the first time. Dougie's been touring with Prince for 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Dougie Fresh. And we went to Prince's house for this party he had for like after Golden Globe Awards or something. You name them, Terry Lewis, Jimmy Jam. Right. It was crazy. And I remember walking up the steps, walking in the house, and you had all of these. You had Black Hollywood, you had White Hollywood. But when they saw Dougie and Kool Moe D, people, I don't know if they planned this, but they were saying, "Oh my God, the superheroes are here!"
Wow.
You know, it's
people.
dope.
Yeah, people just Kool Moe D. I still don't think he get. People have no idea how dope that dude was.
I seen him at a party out here in LA, and I was like, damn, that's Kool Moe D.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's superhero. He's super. I still remember him when he came to the Spectrum. Did he come out in the Globe? Because back in the day, it was how you came out. You know what I mean? That was we would talk about that. Oh, Rakim came out in the Pyramid. You know what I mean? I think Kool Moe D came out in the Globe. It was just. And he put on with the leather suit, put on a hell of a show, man. But you is it correct? You started out with Whodini? Is that
started off with Whodini?
How did that come about?
We just had a name in the streets of Brooklyn. You know,
and you was a dancer. You started dancing.
Yeah, I was a dancer, and I always loved style. I was always into my style and our haircuts and whatever, and just how I grew up around my neighborhood. And we just had a hell of a our own original dance style and how we did things. And they heard about me. They heard about our crew, and they heard about me. And Jalil started reaching out, and I was flattered as hell. Because if you know Jalil, he's the tough one out of the group. Right. He was the writer. He was the brains behind everything. He was definitely the leader. And he called me. He got in contact with me, and he said, yo, we doing a big show at the Apollo with Curtis Blow. There's a lot of acts. And we about to do this new tour called the Raising Hell, and the rest was history. And I went on my first tour. Raising Hell tour was Run DMC, Beastie Boys, LL Cool J, Tom X Social Club, World Class Wrecking Crew, Dr. Dre. I traveled the world.
That was like the first. I would say, was that the first big hip hop tour? I think was the Raising Hell tour.
I remember once I met Whodini one time out here in LA. One time we was, I think it might have been right before I moved to LA. I might have still been living in San Diego, but a friend of mine knew Whodini, whatever, and we was all going. We was up at UCLA hooping. This is when Matt Barnes, I think Matt Barnes was still there, whatever, around that time.
Still at UCLA.
Yeah, it might have been, still right before he got there, right around that time. So we go to hoop, and I'll never forget this. I ain't bullshit. The moment the ball was taken out of bounds, like somebody handed the ball in bounds, John Lil sprained his ankle in less than 5 seconds. Like, as soon as he took a step, he sprained his ankle, and he was done. And he was like, oh, shit. And he was limping, and he couldn't play. And I'm telling you, all they did was hand the ball in, and he sprained his ankle. And I'll never forget that shit.
That sounds like some Jalil.
The Raising, so you fresh, you Brooklyn, you young, and you on Raising Hell tour.
On the Raising Hell tour.
Run DMC. And that's funny. A lot of young folks don't. That was the first really big hip hop tour. And it lived up to his name. It raised hell because they cut it short. It was just so much fighting. That's when hip hop wasn't on a roll like that, and they ain't know nothing about fighting and insurance and stuff like that. And because I remember I seen it was Dan Rather. I used to watch Dan Rather. He said the Raising Hell tour by Run DMC is living up to his name. It's Raising Hell.
That sounds like some shit Dan Rather.
Interesting. They didn't stop the tour, but what happened was when we got to Los Angeles and we performed at the Long Beach Arena.
Oh, Long Beach Arena. Okay.
And it was a big. We didn't know. It was a Crip and Blood thing. It was a neighborhood thing. And we had to, and Run DMC didn't even get to go on stage and perform yet.
Right.
We were on stage performing, and we would do like 4 changes in our show as far as our gear. And we had came out at the end, and we had these red Adidas sweatsuits with these patent leather Adidas, and we was fly to death.
Oh, back then y'all was tripping.
And Jalil was looking in the crowd, but we so busy dancing, having fun, and we was on the last song, Funky Beat. And next thing I know, they was just throwing down, and Jalil was like, we gotta go. Wow. And we literally jumped off the stage because the crowd was coming to the stage, and all the groups were in the back. It was so many different celebrities. It was so many people there. And we had to go in the back and barricade ourselves in the back of the dressing rooms.
Wow.
And literally put tables and chairs and barricaded because they were trying to come in there, and we was stuck in there for like several hours. When we came out, unfortunately, people lost their lives. There was bloodshed. And we left out of there like around 2 in the morning. And I looked on the news. So this is my first, 86. And the helicopters, and it was chaos and mayhem. And the next day, we was all staying at the on West Knoll. We was staying at the La Park Hotel in West Hollywood.
Yeah, it's still there, La Park. Yeah.
And I'll never forget, they had a press conference because the next day, Run DMC was signing their $1 million deal with Adidas.
Oh, wow.
So it was a press conference, and we had the La Park, and the room was no bigger than this, honestly. It was like it was a table and chair, and it was this big press conference, all this press there, and they kept pounding Run DMC about the concert, and Grandmaster Jay, I remember Jay kept saying, we didn't even perform yet, and they blaming it on us. We wasn't even performing, and our boys Whodini, they wasn't doing nothing.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of you know, we perform at the Spectrum, sold out. You know, but it was the early days of the culture, like you
it was
said.
the early days, and people didn't know. And nobody knew you don't put the Bloods and the Crips in the same thing.
Wow.
So y'all was there. They was like the pioneers. They was like the pioneers of dealing with that stuff.
And the next tour was Def Jam with Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Eric B and Rakim, Heavy D and the Boys, Whodini, LL Cool J. It was a big tour we did, the Def Jam, and that's why I met your boy Charlie Mack. And Charlie be on everybody's buses, cutting everybody's hair, and Rakim.
Shout out to Charlie Mack.
Word up, man. We had so much fun, man. It was incredible.
Hey, tell me when y'all was out there with Whodini, when y'all did I'm a Hoe, how did the audience go? I know they went bananas, huh? I listen to that shit to this day, right now, and I still get hyped.
Whodini had some hits, man. They had some hits.
LA, that record was really big in LA.
Yeah, I'm a
That record was big.
That was West Coast. That
Texas.
shit was huge.
Yeah.
I remember.
Because he's from Omaha originally.
Yeah. So, wow. Yeah. It's interesting because when you go to different markets, different artists, like how comedians are. You big in certain markets, they like your get down. So it's interesting how we would go on stage and perform. And when it was Whodini's time, the crowd would shift. And it was LL's time to go on stage, the crowd would shift. So when Whodini went on to perform, there was a lot of players and pimps and you know, the ladies of the night.
The ladies went up.
It was a different thing in DC. So I'm a Hoe was a huge record for them, and it was crazy. Like, you know, motherfuckers' grandmothers used to be out there yelling they was hoes, and it was funny.
Let's talk about your relationship with Dougie. Like you were saying, y'all go back to grade school.
Yeah, me and Dougie Fresh met in 9th grade. He was in 10th grade. We met the first day of school because I was known in my neighborhood as a beatbox. I used to love the beatbox.
Wow, okay.
So I had my little neighborhood, my little hood rep. So my boys that grew up with the Delgado brothers, they were always telling me about their homeboy, Dougie Fresh. So me and Dougie met the first day of school, and we had a beatbox battle. First day of school, we went to Martin Luther King High School in Manhattan, in Midtown Manhattan, and we were walking, and they was like, yo, they go Doug right there. And they introduced us, and we did our little battle. Of course, he tore me up, but he respect my get down, and early on, I was running with the whole Get Fresh crew, and I was going uptown, hanging out in Harlem with them, and everything just evolved to where, you know, we've been breaking bread now, you know, for over 20 years and just making things happen. Having a good time.
Yeah, Dougie, oh man, if you've never seen the Dougie Fresh show, it's like he was just at the Redondo Beach Theater. Was you? I know I was there with Charlie Mack. EPMD was there, but I've seen Dougie perform about 20 times, but it's still just like how incredible that dude is, man. Just the talent. And you think really, because let's keep it 100, Dougie really only got about 4 or 5 hits, but to have a 30-year career.
Yeah, with 4 hits.
Because he just know how to entertain. He's the world's greatest entertainer.
Yeah.
And like we said at the beginning of the conversation, it's about understanding the subculture. So it's like you guys are comedians. You guys understand the streets, the turf.
Right.
And whoever that's so-called on top, they call brothers like y'all because y'all understand the barbershop talk still. Y'all understand what it is. And that's what makes it dope. And by Dougie having his ear to the streets, and he has 6 sons, and his sons keep him relevant. My kids keep me relevant on what's going on. And you can't lose that no matter how far you get in your career. You can't lose that thing that brought you there.
Right.
And it's important, man. You know, you lose sight of yourself. So you have to stay relevant, and you have to keep reinventing yourself, and you have to have respect. If you respect it for what you do, you're gonna you stay the people's choice. Like artists like De La Soul, my favorite group on the planet, but you never hear a bunch of bull crap around De La Soul. They drop their records, they have their core fans, and they've been traveling the world.
Since they came out.
Making 40, 50K a night. And cats don't even, they're like, De La Soul? Like, them guys is dope at what they do. But they understand the subculture, so they could go to Paris, they could go to Europe and travel for 5, 6 months.
It seems like why do Europe respect hip hop it seems like sometimes Europe respected more than we do here. Like they.
I think Europe respects culture, period, more than what we do. Since the 1920s and 30s, you got to think about it. Duke Ellington and all our
even
jazz
back,
greats.
wow, yeah, that's
Quincy
true.
Jones,
the Nicholas brothers, down to the dancers. They had to go over there to feed their families when they were 40, 50 years old because, you know, I think because we moving so fast over here, we got to, you know, it's like we're like fast food. You in and out. We get bored of stuff quick.
That's true. Damn, that makes a lot of sense.
Now you dance for several groups, right?
I really danced for Whodini, and I rocked with my boys Nice and Smooth because we all met when we were teenagers as well. Greg and Smooth, and I went out there and I did certain joints with them and did choreography.
I seen you on Soul Train with them.
I was on Soul Train with them.
With that Nice and Smooth, man. How was that?
Fun.
That's one of my favorite groups, man. Nice and Smooth, man.
Them guys are incredible.
Smooth B, notorious, glorious.
Man, that's funny.
Knowledge is infamous. I live in a fortress.
That's funny you mentioned Soul Train because I was thinking about today. I was thinking about it with the awards. Just
the Soul Train Awards.
Yeah, I thought about my mind, the creator.
Don Cornelius.
Yeah, I was like, damn, today this shit really went through my mind. I said, damn, Don Cornelius didn't want his wife to get some money so bad he killed himself.
Oh, that's what it was about? I didn't have no idea.
Because he didn't want her to get no money. So he committed suicide because then your insurance don't have to pay. He killed himself to get away from this bitch.
Shit. Damn.
I thought about that today. You didn't know that?
I had no idea, man.
That's exactly what happened. He was sick, but he took his own life because he didn't want to leave her with shit.
Now, I know when it came to hip hop, it's funny talking about Soul Train. At first, he didn't want rappers on the shit. Like it took him a little minute to open up, but when he did, he really, I guess, Don understood. Ain't no stopping this. This shit is because I think Run DMC was the first one on Soul Train, but then it was no. He understood it was no stopping. What's your relationship with Big Daddy Kane? How you met Kane?
It's crazy. It's crazy how life is. Me and Kane met in 7th grade.
Wow, because Brooklyn,
IS 117, Francis Scott Key, right behind Lafayette Gardens, LG, where I grew up at. Me and Kane met in 7th grade. Mr. Antonio Hardy.
King Asiatic, nobody's equal.
Word up. And phenomenal.
Was he rapping back then? Was he?
Absolutely, absolutely. Always prolific.
The ladies love Kane, boy, back then.
Super smart guy, though. Very, very, I'm talking about straight A's. The super smart classes. I was down there with the sweat hogs.
He was getting A's when he was doing all that fighting and shit, too, huh?
Yeah, you know, people would play hate. You know, Kane was just a fly dude. So, you know, sometimes when you just, you know, catch this hate on you just because they hate, oh, that's a funny dude, and you know, a couple of chicks might talk about you behind the scenes and, oh, fuck him.
Yeah.
Fuck Jamal.
That's how Kane,
You know what I mean? Kane was always, you know, he was always ahead of the curve, and that's why his career, look at him now, he's on CSI, and, you know, he's doing television, and, you know, he's highly intelligent. So
you, when he blew up, because you know him since when he blew up, did he stay the same dude? How was
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kane ain't never changed, you know. He still come around the way, and even I live here, and, you know, everybody's still in touch. Like, we lost a dear friend. We all went to school together. My man Norman G, a.k.a. Witch Doctor from Lafayette Gardens. He passed away, and I wasn't able to go because I've been sick and I'm dealing with some personal issues in the hospital.
Right.
So, but the homie passed away, and everybody came through. Easy Mo B that produced Biggie's first album. We all grew up together in the same neighborhood. Little Kim lived in the next building from me. So and Spike Lee was up the street, you know. My whole neighborhood birthed a subculture of people who moved the culture, you know. But a lot of these people that I'm talking about had a sense of style. And that's something that I was able to do. You know, a good friend of mine that I met years ago on the Raising Hell tour. To make a long story short, I met this brother. There's a gentleman in Los Angeles by the name of Scotty D. And he is the West Coast Dapper Dan. Period. This brother is so stylish and so fly. And he gave a lot of the West Coast artists a place to live. He put money in their pockets. He really looked after them and kept them off to the street, especially when they went and did some time in jail, whatever. So Grandmaster D used to always wear these fila suits with this extra stuff on it. Right. And I'm like, man, where you get that from? Where you get that from? My man Scotty D in L.A. So we got to L.A. We had the driver. It was me, Jam Master J, and Grandmaster D, and we jumped in the car, and he took us to this spot in the valley. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I was going to get my Scotty D fila suits, and I had my little hamburger money, and I was ready to spend my money, all my money, spend like $1,500 on, and like I think he was charging us only like $100 a sweatsuit or something. That was a lot of money back then. So I was gonna get me 15 sweatsuits.
Oh shit!
Every color, what I want, all that. And when I got to the store, you guys, I kid you not, there were two young men standing in front of me up on a riser. And in the West Coast, these guys DJ on another level. They was, it's time. And the cats back home, everybody's phenomenal, but the way they turned the turntables horizontally, the way the needle was positioned, it was something different that I've never saw before from a subculture perspective. And this guy was up there making faces, and he was cutting and scratching and acting a fool, and I'm laughing while he's DJing. So we started talking after. I'm like telling Grandmaster D and Jam Master J, y'all can't do that. Y'all can't do what he's doing. This guy's incredible. Oh man, he's okay. To make a long story short, a month and a half later, he was at my doorstep living with me in my crib in Brooklyn. And he went on to produce LL Cool J's Going Back to Cali, a lot of LL's big records. People don't even know that this man produced these records.
Let me say the name. Let me see if I'm good. Can I? If I'm Battle Cat?
Not Battle Cat.
I was okay. Go ahead.
Nah, not Battle Cat. Okay. DJ Pooh.
Oh, DJ Pooh. Yeah.
So DJ Pooh lived with me in Brooklyn for 4 years. And while he was living with me, he was producing all these records, and he was in New York soaking up this subculture and respecting the subculture.
Right.
He was running around Bed-Stuy with Bobcat that ended up, they was all LA Posse, Muffler, and all those guys created a team, and they produced a lot of LL's biggest records, and they toured with LL Cool J. And Bobcat was LL's DJ, and Bobcat wrote the record I Need Love. He wrote that record like in middle school or something like that, I want to say. But then Pooh got his weight up, and Ice Cube had left NWA, and he knew what Pooh was doing, and he started producing Ice Cube records. He produced like 3 Cube albums, but Pooh was always into cinematography. He was always messing with I remember him taking his SP-1200 apart and messing with I said, what are you doing? But to make a long story short, he was always in the cinematography, and he was always in the directing, and filming was his thing. So when I moved to Los Angeles, I stayed with Pooh for like a year. He returned the favor.
Well, yeah, you got
I got to LA in like 95, 96, something like that. And when I moved to Los Angeles, he had a home in Sherman Oaks, and Pooh was writing the film Fridays. He was writing Fridays, and he returned the favor in a big way. And I went in and I did all the wardrobe for tons of Snoop videos, St. Oz commercials. I did all of his movies, and then he just said, look, you're gonna do the wardrobe. And I'm like, what do you? He's like, you could do it. And I had to read the scripts, break it down. So I got into the whole costume design space.
Because that's why I wanted to make that's why I wanted to, when you got to LA, and now this is how you got to go. I just wanted people to know this is how you got into fashion and mix it in with hip hop. This is okay.
Yeah, and it was something that I was forced to do, but I didn't mind doing it.
Because it was your love. Like you said, you was always a fly dude. And
I was going to get 15 sweatsuits.
I was going to get 15 sweatsuits to spend all my hamburger money like a fool. But I got to... then I started getting phone calls. The homegirl, April Walker from Walker Wear, she hit me up.
I remember Walker Wear,
Yo, Cliff, you in LA, can you get my clothes on the Fresh Prince, because we didn't call Will Smith back then. It was always the Fresh Prince. And I was like, well, I've been out here. They don't know I'm here yet, but I'll reach out. So I did some product placement, and I got Walk-Aware on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Then I got a call from a gentleman by the name of Phil Pabon. And Phil Pabon was the marketing guy for Tony Shelman at Mecca when they first started Mecca. So Mecca just had like 3 T-shirts. So I got the T-shirts on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, I'm doing all these videos for Pooh for all of these artists that he's producing. So he's making the music and he's directing the music videos. So if you see the videos of Ice Cube, Who's the Mac, Pooh was directing those videos.
Yeah.
And he was in them.
In them too, yeah.
So I started doing my wardrobe thing, and next thing I know, all these different brands started popping up, all these urban brands. So I was able to consult the Wayans Brothers television show, tons of TV shows, but taking these brands and integrating them, and now what we know as product placement and product integration.
Wow, you was one of the pioneers, yeah. Charlie used to tell me, man, you was one of the first people to do that, man.
Yeah.
How you think that is now? What's the process now? How you think it's? You like where it's going with fashion and hip hop is going now, or you think it's oversaturated? Has it been commercialized?
I think that a lot of these brands have, everybody has to get their money. We buy like the big expensive brands, and we could all name all of those brands going down the list. But what's interesting is a lot of these brands have taken advantage of these young kids. So for a kid to go in and spend $500 on a T-shirt,
that's crazy.
Yeah, spending. I'll look at these different things, Complex TV on YouTube, and they buy the sneakers and all that. And, everybody can't afford to spend $10,000 on a pair of sneakers. But I just think that everything that I said growing up as a young kid from a subculture perspective, I think is really disrespectful for a young kid to go out and feeling if I spend $1,000 or $1,500 on these sneakers, it makes me cool. I think it's real disrespectful for these brands to charge these kids all of this money for this stuff. And it's just stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that money, you do what you do. But I think the cool factor is gone from when I say the big homie, I really mean it. The big homie. Those cats that we looked up to growing up in our neighborhood that said to y'all ain't like the rest of these knuckleheads. Come here.
Yeah.
Come stand over here with me. There's not a lot of that going on where these kids feel comfortable in themselves. So that level of therapy that they think they're getting is not really cool, because you get it and then you let everybody know within the 48-hour time period, such and such got them new such and suches on, or that new T-shirt. I think it's ridiculous, man. It's never that serious. To see Cazelle come back now and they're charging all of this money for the Cazelles, and this is stuff that we wore back in the 80s.
For a low price now, it's way up there.
It's like, yo, man, that's not cool. It's really disrespectful. It's really disrespectful.
And you think, so some of these companies are using the hip hop culture, what's the word I'm trying to...
Damn, if you think about it like that, don't know rock and roll shit cost that much.
Well, that's true.
That's true. What rock and roll bands is, wearing certain shit that people going out spending a whole bunch of money on. Nothing. You could buy them goddamn chains and them wallets that they wear, all that old bullshit, holy jean. That shit's dirt cheap.
And you think about how much, because let's think about it.
It's even with the comedy.
Yeah, but
white comedians can get away with being dressed a different way than a black comedian.
Yeah, black comedian just can't walk on stage wearing anything.
Yeah, white comedian can walk. He can pull his shirt out the glove.
Now, why do you think that is like that? Let me ask y'all that. Why do you think black comedians have to go on stage and put on the most expensive thing. What does that have to do with their joke?
Yeah, it doesn't have nothing. But how we look at it, you know how our people look at it, like, if you don't look like anything, that's the first thing. Because first thing, they're going to spend 5 minutes on what your outfit is. So you kind of want to keep it, you know what I mean?
Hey, remember that story? Hey, look, one time, this shit actually happened. One time, me and Jamal had a show together. We just happened to be on the same show, whatever. I forgot who even did it. So we show up at the show. Jamal show up. I show up. We both got on green shirts.
Paul. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
We both got on green shirts. Now, we ain't talking.
We playing nothing.
We ain't done shit. So Jamal was lucky. He went out there first. So he went out and did his thing. So I remember they brought me out right behind Jamal. So I remember a brother yelled out, "What you motherfuckers do, get dressed together?" And it was like, what the fuck? You know, like,
That's
I'm
true.
like, damn, so, but that shit is real. Like black people, you gotta be worried about your clothes. When I perform in front of Latinos or whites, they don't give a fuck what you got on. I don't know why it is, but it's the same thing what you're saying with the hip hop culture, how they don't do that shit to rock and roll bands. Them white kids ain't buying expensive shit because Aerosmith got it.
But and just with hip hop, I was coming back to the Run DMC Adidas. What would Adidas be without Run DMC? What they did for them back in '85?
In America, they wouldn't be nothing.
I'm gonna tell you.
Let's be for real.
That's the truth. This is the truth. I remember Leor and the team.
Leor Cohen, co-founder of Def Jam Records.
There you go. And I remember him saying to Ronnie Ray, and Ronnie Ray was Run's best friend. He grew up with him in Hollis, Queens. I remember him saying to Ronnie Ray, "Yo, soon as we get this deal locked in with Adidas, Raymond, you will not have to be cleaning Joey and D's shoes before the show. Because we're going to lock in this deal with Adidas, me and Russell, and we're going to make a change. And they're going to pay us a lot of money. And this is going to be a whole..." I remember Ronnie Ray was literally being there. He have like bags of their sneakers and just cleaning them and make sure the shoes, and they pick out whatever ones. All of them were the same, but they would make sure, I'm gonna wear those tonight. And no shoestrings was in them.
Damn, I never in a million years would have thought that it was somebody literally cleaning their shoes before they got
keep them shell top Adidas. You had to keep them
Yeah,
things.
but I'm just saying though.
And that was their boy, you know, that was their boy, and that was a part of his job. He was the roadie, and Ronnie Ray, shout out to him. He was a phenomenal guy and Run's best friend. But I remember we got to Los Angeles and they were cultivating the deal still. And we met up with a gentleman by the name of Angelo, this Italian guy, because they were trying to figure out how were they going to get in contact with the powers that be at Adidas. And there was a gentleman named Angelo, and Angelo reached out to the brothers in Germany. He reached out to them and they went on, and I remember Run saying, "Yo, they coming, they coming." It's like, who's coming? The people from Adidas, the brothers, the guys that own it. So we was in Detroit. We all over the country, and everywhere we went, you know, it was Adidas. They was wearing Adidas sweatsuits, and the kids was cutting the leaf in their hair. It was just Adidas, crazy. And this is before the deal went down. Damn. So I remember Run in the dressing room on the tour bus saying, "Yo," practicing how he was gonna captivate their minds. So he would like, "Yo, I'm gonna hold the shoe up like this, and I'm gonna tell everybody to hold their shoe up." So he was test running it in all the cities. Wow. So by the time we got to the Garden to New York, like we went, because it's like it was their deal, but we felt like I was our deal too, because we all friends now. We all on tour together. And I never forget, I went in the sound booth at Madison Square Garden, and them guys from Germany, they didn't know no English.
Damn.
And I remember standing there at Madison Square Garden after we got off stage, Whodini, and watching Joey and running them do their thing. And Run held them sneakers in the air. And them guys were looking at each other, and they were silent. It was like a Charlie Chaplin movie amongst them. And remember this, when Run DMC came out, when Sucker MCs, that was like, what, 84?
84, yeah.
Something like that. So you skip 85, Crush Groove is being made, whatever, 86. So in that pocket of 84 and 86, it was a paradigm shift as far as the style of fashion. No one was breakdancing and popping like that no more. And that was a part of that early, that was like that 77, 78, 79, where cats were wearing Pumas and Adidas. So you had the poppers and you had the graffiti movement. That B-boy era was gone. So that's who drove the financial success, again, back to the subculture in the inner cities across America. From St. Louis, where you from again, brother? Omaha, Nebraska, to Philadelphia, everyone was wearing shell toes and Pumas because it was the hip hop graffiti era, Beach Street era. So that era's gone. So no one is wearing Adidas no more but Run DMC.
You're right, yeah.
Adidas was going out of business.
Wow.
Whoa.
They was in the shift in their movement. And by Russell Simmons came up with the chorus and hook for My Adidas. On their block.
My Adidas.
Walk through concert doors.
There you go.
And roam all over Coliseum floors. That was just
step on stage.
And when the record dropped, the rest is history. So again, the subculture behind these brands, and which is great. You know, it's a great thing because it moves the culture in it. And I love the fact that a lot of these brands have a lot of young kids working for them now. And they're able to go in there and work in a corporate setting and design shoes and make their dreams come true. And do things that was never thought of. You know, it's like we need more young kids that are making microphones and making turntables because technique, if someone would do the analytics and the numbers of how much money Technique turntable made from the 70s to now, Serato to now, because of hip hop, those companies are $1 trillion businesses.
That's true. They wouldn't have been nothing without hip hop.
There you go. Right. So it's bigger than the sneakers and it's bigger than the gold chains. Everyone, down to the name of TV shows, love of hip hop this, love of hip hop this. That's the low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
But it was all about being original. I never bit.
Yeah.
Like
I was as bad as snitching.
You know, it's like I come from an era where we pushed the line of being original. I come from that. I stand on that shit. And that's what the subculture and why I'm still here doing my thing. And I'm respected in my space because I respected the culture. I still respect the culture. I love it. I wake up and I breathe hip hop. I love this shit. I'm from a certain group of young cats that raised me from the street cats. I grew up with the original 50 Cent and them guys. I grew up in that era in Brooklyn. I wasn't no tough guy, but they respected Cliff because I was me. I didn't have to run around and tuck my head in my shirt and walk around like that. You know, when you raised by certain people, you have a certain level. Like I could hold my head up.
Yeah.
And when it's time to take it to those levels and take it to this level, I'm gonna do that. But there's a price to pay in everything that we do. You know, you guys are out there on your grind from a comedic perspective. But when God says, let's go, y'all gonna be so groomed and y'all gonna know how to handle the overweight because a lot comes with that shit. You're gonna help save a lot of other young brothers and people respect y'all. Yeah, as long as you stay the people's choice, you're gonna always survive in this game. And I look at De La Soul as the blueprint of flyness.
Yeah.
They don't have all that pressure that a lot of other groups had because they over here fighting and screaming and kicking. They just walking through.
Yeah.
They go into the stage and they go into their dressing room or they getting in the car and they go into the hotel.
What you think about the New York hip hop scene today? What's your thoughts on it?
I love Cardi B because she's a character. It's like if ODB had a daughter with a Puerto Rican girl in the Bronx.
I ain't even think of that. That's funny.
It's Cardi B.
That would be Cardi B.
Cardi B
I just like
fun.
recently. I just know. I mean, like I seen a picture of her and I was like, she's nice looking. You know, I mean, like it just dawned on me. Yeah, she look a lot better than Nicki Minaj.
I'm trying to think if old dirty bastard had a baby with Hurricane G. You remember Hurricane G? That would probably be Cardi B.
Did you ever? It's funny because you were speaking about Jam Master Jay. It's funny. I was just talking about him today with a friend of mine because I remember Jay. I was in San Diego at the time, and Jay came to San Diego and picked up and found J.O. Felony.
Oh, that's why he was signed to James.
Yeah, man. And J.O. Felony's career was taking off and everything was going great until Jay got killed, man. He never recovered from there.
Yeah. Good dude, man. Rest in peace, Jam Master Jay, man. Good dude. So you said you like Cardi B? And
I love Cardi B, man. She's having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
She's having fun with it. She's not overthinking it. And, you know, people can say whatever they want to say about her, but, you know, she's a character. And that's what's dope about, you know, this whole hip-hop game. You have to have people that are just having fun with it. And she's that chick. She don't give a fuck.
What do you think about how far Jay-Z has gotten from Brooklyn?
I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, I think Jay-Z is having, you know, he's living out the American dream and, you know, being from where, you know, 10 minutes from where I grew up at and Jazz and all those guys, and, Nike from Shirt Kings, all them guys grew up together over there and they had their own little subculture in Marcy. They having fun, man, and that's what it's about. I feel sorry for some of these young brothers and sisters, they get in the game and, you know, a lot of times they get sucked back into the streets because a lot of them don't have that level of confidence to say, hey, man, I'm just going to go this way. I ain't worrying about when they go back and they keep going back and they keep going back and they get caught up in the hype and next thing you know, they sitting up in prison for 15, 20 years.
Yeah, that's not
that shit just wasted.
You know, and Jay-Z and them is just moving forward and breaking ground and, you know, and influencing people globally. It's bigger than LA, New York, Philadelphia. You know, my friends that I grew up with in this game, they live in Ghana.
Wow.
They live in Ethiopia. You know, they live in Amsterdam. They live in Australia, running hip hop globally. And that's what hip hop is. When African Bambaataa and them said universal people looking for the perfect beat, they meant that shit. That shit is, when Malcolm McLaren made that record with the radio personalities like y'all, world famous Supreme Team, Certified and Mastermind, Just a Lot of Superstar. That was WHBI public radio at like 2, 3 in the morning. You had the Mr. Magic Rap Attack.
Yeah, damn.
You had this world famous Supreme Team. You had Zulu Beat. And when we heard them made that record, world famous Supreme Team show, and they did that record with Malcolm McLaren, that was like 82. We was looking at that video like, what the hell? Some people listen to history, some people listen. And they sang that chorus and that line on that record, one of them Malcolm McLaren records. And this is something that we heard around the way.
Damn.
And the 5 boroughs. And they made this record with this white guy from London. And they did it, and they had Rocksteady crew in the video. You had Crazy Legs, you had Norm Ski. So we were like, oh my God, look at this.
Yeah.
Cyndi Lauper was doing things with Run DMC. It was that paradigm shift.
Yeah.
But everybody was respecting back to the subculture. So to see it now.
That was another way you knew hip hop at you know, went over when you start seeing the hip hop artists with the rock and rollers.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Run with Aerosmith.
Yeah, that right there, I was like, oh shit.
And to hear them say that Run DMC saved their careers.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know they said that.
Yeah.
Because that hit, that song, Walk This Way, was okay.
They wasn't doing no shows, they wasn't doing nothing. But because different DJs and Rick Rubin and them was cutting up, walk this way. That's that one break part, and Rick Rubin saying, yo, we got to make this record. That put them on the map.
Wow.
That brought them back. You know, so thank God for hip hop.
Yeah. Man. Tell me the story about Rakim. You was telling me on tour.
A lot of people consider Rakim the greatest MC.
Yeah, a lot of people on top 5 on any list. If you don't have him top 5 on your list, you need to rewrite your list. Yeah. But you were cool when y'all was on tour. What was the story you was telling me?
We was on the Def Jam tour, and Ra used to be like, yo, Cliff, come to my room. Come to my room. I got a surprise. I'm like, let me see what this motherfucker talking about. I get to his room. I walk in Rakim's room, and Rakim has an AFX race car track.
The guy Rakim.
And I'm sitting on, you got double beds in the room. I'm sitting on one bed, on one other, and we're sitting there with the racing car track in between the bed. We move the beds back, and we in there racing cars, having fun. We would go when we get to whatever city. We hit the whatever truck stop, get a gallon of milk, a couple of gallons of milk, cereal, and we'd be sitting in the room playing race cars, eating cereal.
Wow.
Man, y'all went back to your childhood.
Wow.
Man. And what y'all you was in your early 20s at this time?
I was like 18 years old.
Oh, wow.
I was a young kid, 18, 19 years old, and it was just, I guess you look at it like, yo, Cats is making some money, and you get to do things that you wasn't able to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm not saying Rakim didn't have race car when he was little, but I know one goddamn thing. We in the room racing, having a good time, and Rakim would buy my jewelry off of me.
Yeah.
You would buy my jewelry off of me.
Hold on, buy it off of you?
Yeah.
Just dig your shit and like, hold on, let me pay you for that.
Yo, Cliff, man, let me get that ring right there. That's mean. That's mean, Cliff. I gotta have that one right there. Let me get that. Yeah, I like that Benz ring. I wasn't driving the Benz, but he was. And Rob would buy my different pieces. But to this day, we're real cool. Shout out to him, but he's just a great
How do you think
person.
people still consider him one of the greatest MCs and he really haven't put out anything like, say, lately?
But he has enough. I mean,
I understand.
He's sitting on 6 championships. You know what I mean? He's sitting on 5 rings. He don't have to, that's why it's like some people consider Kobe Kobe hasn't played no, but he put that time in, he put that experience in.
And I think it's him personally.
Yeah.
It's like if someone says to you, yo, man, I like who you are as a person. I love Jamal. Like, he's a cool dude. And that's how Rakim is, It's like he's just a smooth cat. He's real chill. He's soft spoken, and he's really analytic. Like, he listens. Like, when he talks, it's like the way he rhymes. He talks and he talks as a matter of fact.
Right.
And he's really a smooth operator. Like he said, smooth operator, operating correctly.
Yeah.
He's the black sheep. Like he's real confident in the sense of he's that guy that's like walking past all the chaos and mayhem and just going home. He's a real, he's really a jazz musician. He's like Thelonious Monk. He's a really great human being. His wife is a phenomenal person. And he travels the country in this beautiful ass Mercedes Sprinter.
Yeah, because he don't fly.
He doesn't fly.
Yeah.
And
he like John Madden.
She travels in his joint with his dog Fifi, and he travels the country. And
I just seen him. They was just here a couple weeks ago. The 30th anniversary, Eric B. and Rakim.
I can't imagine. Yeah, he don't Twisted. He don't like to fly either. So.
Yeah, a lot of them. You'd be surprised. A lot of them don't like to fly. Just one of my final questions, Cliff. Just made me think because you were kind of in you rep New York, but you were kind of in LA doing that East West Coast
when the gangster rap.
But you had love out here in LA. How was that? How was it?
It's I have a lot of love and respect in Los Angeles. I live in LA. I don't live out in the valley and here and there, but I just was able to connect with some real solid men and women in Los Angeles that embraced me and my family, and And I just moved to the city real cool with a real good group of people that are from here. And I always tell people, you know, people say, oh man, LA this and LA that. Nah, man. I said, you got to hook up with the people that grew up here. You got to group up, you got to hook up with the people, the locals that are from here, and you'll get to experience wherever city you're from. And these are the people that embraced me and helped me raise my children in Los Angeles and give them a really great foundation.
Real recognize real.
You know
no
what I
matter
mean?
what city.
And I love Los Angeles. I love the people here, and I you know, the local events, this and that, and just being a part of it. And that's what helped molded me. And by DJ Pooh giving me the platform, introducing me to all his friends that he grew up with from Compton and Watts, that grew up in Nickerson Gardens, that grew up here and grew up there. I've always gravitated towards that because of where I'm from. So I rock with some really great people that grew up in the communities here, but that are really, 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 really respected. And they don't judge me, and they don't look at me. I don't walk around with a Yankee hat talking about, yeah, I'm from New York, I'm from New York.
Yeah,
I don't do all that.
It's a couple of them cats out here.
Yeah, I don't do that. You know what I mean? And I don't brag that and say I'm from New York and we do this and we do that. I love where I'm at, and I respect this city, and I'm able to do what I need to do, and eat, and just, you know, just live life. Period.
From a fashion aspect, I know we was talking about Walker Wear and some of them, like them early '90s black-owned lines and stuff like that. Are there any more out there? Are there black lines out there we should look, you know, maybe pay more attention to? It doesn't. Just me I'm not into the fashion like you.
Right.
But to me, I don't see the Carl Kanaz and like it used to be, like you know, the FUBUs and stuff like that.
Well, Carl Kanaz back now. He made a really huge resurgence.
Okay.
A lot of the young cats, you know, Carl has a nice new collection out. I haven't seen all of it, but I see some of the young cats rocking it, which is really, really dope. There's a new line, not new, there's a line out of Harlem called Harlem Original.
Okay.
My man Harlem Gatsby, my man Dardo, original member of the Get Fresh crew, he has a cold collection. There's a new hat collection dropping called Central Avenue, Los Angeles.
Right.
And they make really nice fedoras, very, very high fashion across the board. There's another line out there called Black Angels that's really, really dope. There's a handful of them, but it's like the rap game is so much traffic. It's like the 405 because everybody's dropping the damn clothing line. Everybody's doing it. Yeah. But it's how you position it, who you rocking with that's gonna wear your product. It's like a lot of people want to give it to the celebrity and I'm gonna have them blow it up. But it's, you know, that's gonna fit the mold of what your collection is, that's gonna really complement what you do. You just can't give it to this person and this person just because they have a name. It has to be right.
Right.
You know, you can't be corny about it just to get that blow up to trick to trick the consumer. And that's what these other big brands are doing. They have these kids. It's like a brainwash game. I don't know what it is, but you know, the truth is going to rise to the top. And I think a lot of, you know, Dapper Dan is back.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
Dap is back.
They're trying to make his movie, I heard. They're trying to make a movie.
Yep, they're doing a movie on him, I believe, with Sony. And all of these years, you know, us buying Dapper Dan's clothing back in the day and the old days of Whodini and all of that. And Gucci came to him and said, yo, we want to do a collection with you. So now it's Dapper Dan Gucci in Harlem.
So it's funny how the world just comes full circle.
Man, you know, and you have the young brother out of Chicago. He dropped this beautiful line called Off-White.
Off-White.
Virgil, Adu, I want to say that's. He was down with him. He was Kanye's art director. And he's just having fun with it. I watch so much stuff on him on YouTube. I read so many articles. But his attitude, the way he presents himself, just like Dapper Dan, he's so thankful but he always talks about his humble beginnings in Chicago and what he saw from the street culture. And it's all about the streets, y'all. No matter what we do, it all has to go back to the streets. And that's what made Richard Pryor fly, because Richard Pryor was in the streets.
Right, right.
He was a superstar, but when he finished doing his thing, he would go to South Central and hang out with the common man. You know, and that's where all of this stuff goes back to. Puma, Nike, comedy, the turntables. Them Technique turntables were made in Germany, wherever they were made at, but them damn things was in the parks of Philadelphia, the parks of the Bronx, New York, and these are trillion-dollar companies. But it all starts in the streets. That's where everybody gets their exposure at.
Supreme, you said we were saying something about Supreme?
Oh yeah, the clothing line Supreme. You know, a lot of these guys, they're doing their thing and they're having fun. But it's like,
yeah, that line blowing up. J.R. Smith got the tattoo on his leg.
Oh yeah, that was
Like, wow, really?
Yeah.
and to me, it all goes back to the streets. Those names, those were the names of the cats in the neighborhood that were 5%ers and Muslims and all. Their names were Supreme. And Supreme, this, Supreme team, Magnetic, and from Fort Greene, and you know, people, you know, when they're learning the subculture and they tap into certain things, and it's like that's the magic of it, and it's magic in the hood. This shit is magical, man. When different cultures come to the hood, when the white folks step in the hood, it's like, wow, you guys are having fun. Y'all are partying.
Wow.
Look at this shit.
That's true.
And we don't look at it like that because we trying to get out of there.
Struggle,
But everybody else is like, yo, this is fun. So it's a give take, but sometimes you gotta just slow down and you gotta give that happy medium to where you say, yo, take these young kids from South Central that's coming over to Fairfax, spending all this money on this product. You know,
standing in line all night and shit.
Sleeping outside the stores, because it's that culture started in the streets first. You know, I love what Nipsey Hussle's doing.
Oh yeah.
Yo, All-Star Weekend, I drove past there. I kid you not.
Yeah. I still want to go to that store. I still haven't been to that store.
It's amazing. Yo, his product, you could buy a shirt, and a year later, it has, you know, information in it, lets you know when the next product is coming out. It's the technology and his performance of his garments. But I love what Nipsey Hussle's doing, and his brother, and I just watch him from afar. They're so smart. You know, them brothers being Ethiopian, growing up in South Central, understanding, you know, what it is and really being respected. Shout out to Kabi and all them cats over there. Them guys are making moves, and they're to me, they're the perfect example of repping their community, but doing something in their community that's significant.
Yeah, that's
them
true.
Guys are like, they have capsules. These guys are having, they take a lot of kids off the street and they're showing them how to start their own lines, how to start their own tech companies. You know, he's not selfish with it. You only hear Nipsey when he's coming out with a record.
Yeah.
You don't see him all over the place. And he's like to me, from a chill out, on point, respected person, he's like a Rakim to me. Because he's, you know, you see him in public and he's chill, and he ain't all over the place. He ain't playing, but he's having fun, and he's respected where he's from.
And he's smacking the shit out of anybody disrespecting him. Because you seen the BET weekend with the boy, you know, got reckless with him, and then Nipsey had to put him in his place. But shout out to Nipsey Hussle. I still think he got the album of the year, 2018.
Yeah, he's having fun.
He got the album of the year.
It's just like y'all. I just love what y'all doing.
Yeah, man. Listen, man, we love what you doing. I had to get you on here, man. We do this every, we drop it every week, man. We just trying to stay ahead of the curve, man. But we appreciate you coming on. Oh yeah, shout out to your cousin Mike Epps. Shout out to Mike.
Man, Mike is doing.
Mike's his cousin. The homie Mike. Shout out to Mike Epps doing his thing, man.
Definitely doing his thing in a really big way.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of that cat.
Yeah, all the way from Naptown
with him, and they ain't playing, man. They respected in the game, and you know that's all we want is respect and just give respect, and you want to just help a lot of people where they want to go. If you could give them a hand, a helping hand. Remember that picture where you see the hand reaching down, pulling the next person up? That's what it's about, man. Just having fun with this thing, man.
That's what's up,
all the other stuff, all the gossip and the get your facts right. Just have fun doing this thing, man, and respect the culture, man.
Yeah.
You know, grab these babies up, man.
No doubt, man. No doubt. You got anything coming up? You plug anything? Or you?
We're about to drop this Central Avenue hat collection.
Okay.
Larry Sims. He's a respected hairstylist in the industry. And he's dropping this Larry Sims Central Avenue hat collection. So I'm involved with this movement with this gentleman, and about to hit him up really hard for the Christmas holidays.
Okay.
Really nice movement. You guys are gonna hear a lot about it.
Okay.
And you know, a lot of, you know, some other great things, some animation things coming up for the new year that I'm so thankful to be a part of.
Right.
Being a producer on a huge level. And I'm just, when it's time to do it, I'm gonna talk about it.
Yeah, definitely come back and see us, brother. Definitely,
yeah, absolutely, y'all.
Man,
I appreciate you coming through, ladies and gentlemen. Cliff Love, that is hip hop royalty right there, man.
Damn.
You get the bell. Man, you dropped some jewels on us, man.
Yeah,
that's how we do a Dope Dealer podcast, man. You come back and see us anytime, my brother. That's
in the building.
That's my brother, man. Cliff, go back, man. Go back.
That's real.
Tobe, you got anything coming up, man?
Oh man, gotta chilling this weekend. It's the holidays. Hey, but save the date, Sacramento, December 2nd.
Sack time.
I'll be at Monty's Lounge in Sacramento, Rancho Cordova area. Get your tickets now. Monty's Lounge.
Okay.
Tobe Hixx live.
Okay.
Hosted by Michael Calvin Jr.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Shout out to Michael Calvin Jr. Oh, yeah, we do drop on Thanksgiving. So if you're listening to this, happy Thanksgiving to everybody,
happy Thanksgiving.
Man.
Y'all get full.
Thanksgiving, what's up?
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, man. And
Tofurkeys.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. So this week, I don't think I have anything going on this week. I'm just be eating some turkeys and watching some football and stuff like that, man. And we appreciate once again to our troops over there, man. You know, we love you, troops overseas. This podcast is for you guys, man. Check us out on Instagram, Dope Dealer Podcast, at Dope Dealer Podcast. That's our Instagram page. Please subscribe to us on iTunes and leave a review. If you leave a review, rate us and leave a review. If you leave a review, take a screenshot of it. Go to our Instagram page, DM us that screenshot, and we'll send you a T-shirt, a free T-shirt.
It's still not too late to hire me and Jamal for your holiday party. We still got a few dates open. Hit us up. TOBEHIXX.
Yeah, I'm at Jamal Doman, JAMALDOMAN. Or you got a phone. We got a phone number that you can call.
818-916-1818.
One more time.
818-916-1818.
Definitely, man. And shout out to our sponsors, the #1 moving company in the San Fernando, actually in all of Los Angeles, Doman Cheap Movers.
Man.
The #1 moving company in Los Angeles, Doman Cheap Movers. Cliff Love is a happy customer of our sponsors. That's right, Doman Cheap Movers. You know how we do.
Doman.
So shout out to Paul, our engineer, man. Shout out to everybody at Comedy Pop Up, man. That's how we go. Yeah, there we go. Hey, you know how we do a Dope Dealer podcast, the world's most dangerous podcast. God bless y'all.
Thank you.
We see you next week.
Thank you.
Go out, Cliff. Yeah.